Let's go down. It's easier. Andrew, are you here?
Here.
Sunita, are you here?
Here.
I'm fine. Sunita and I had lunch on Tuesday. I finally met Sunita in person. It was great to meet you, Sunita. I was like, we've met before. You're like the fourth person I've known for like over 2 years now under COVID, Sunita, that I have not met in person. And I can never remember. I mean, you get to know someone so well. So it was great to meet you in person. We had a fun lunch. New trustee David Kwan, are you here?
Yes.
David, nice to meet you. We swapped emails. Welcome. You're going to have a great time, I promise. Howard, are you here?
Present.
Eshvar, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Dick, are you here? You guys said he's here.
He's on the phone. He is here.
Let's note for the well, Dick hasn't replied in the affirmative this year. Let's note for the record, he is here. Franco, are you here?
Here.
Dave, are you here?
Dave's here.
Great. Maytak, you want us to go and Roberto directly into closed session now?
I believe we could do that. I defer to council.
Yes, we can go.
That's what says in the agenda. Should we go right into closed session, Maytak? What's your preference?
Yes, we should go. Might as well just go ahead and go to closed
Okay.
session.
All right, I apologize for everybody who joined. Before we kick off the rest of the meeting and go for comments from the public and stuff, we like to do our closed sessions right up front at time certain. So Linda or whoever, fire us up into the closed session. we're back. Let me get my agenda. Oh, good. You got the agenda. All right. We had a closed session. We'll be picking it up again in open session in 5 or 10 minutes. We have no reportable items out of that closed session. So we've done our agenda. We're at 2 orders of the day. So let me get my piece of paper out here. General rules, we're on Zoom, so we'll follow good Zoom etiquette. We'll do round robin on issues. We're going to take a vote. We'll do the first round robin for questions or comments, and we'll do the second round robin to record the vote. In general, you know, for financial briefs and stuff, when say, you know, Casey or one of our financial guys is talking, we've got some of that. Feel free to interrupt. Questions are often best done timely, and we've done that in the past. It hasn't proved to be a problem. I think we've got a very high function board. Just be aware we're on Zoom, slightly different rules than if we were in person. God bless. We have no items to wave sunshine on. We've slightly changed the way we've done this. So the floor is now open to any members of the public for 2 minutes if they want to make any comments or ask any questions. Go ahead and raise your hand in Zoom, and we and the staff will look for a raised hand. So if you want to jump in, raise your hand. You see anything, Linda, Michelle? Anybody you want to jump in if we can't see your hand?
Got Ray Storms, Drew.
Ray.
Chair, I just wanted, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to be clear that is any comments not related to a specific agenda item. So if there is
Thanks. Thanks
related to a
for
specific agenda item, the member should wait for that item in the agenda to make the comments.
Great. Yeah, thanks. Go jump in, Ray.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I believe I saw that we had a 9:30 time that something was going to be presented, and is that still on, or is that going to be later?
So-
what was time certain, Roberto?
I think we were expecting to come out of a closed session by 9:30, but we took longer than anticipated. So we, you know, running about 30 minutes behind, but we do have a time certain discussion for 10:30. Is that
Okay.
correct, Tech?
Yes, that's correct. And Chair Lanza, if I may.
Yeah, please jump in, Maytech.
So for item 3A, we had initially agendized it for 9:30, but we received a comment from Mr. Gallagher's counsel that she has a conflict at 9:30, so we will be hearing it at 10:30 to accommodate her schedule.
Great. Or whenever Ms. Eatmay shows up. So is that answer the question, Ray?
Yes, that does. Thank you very much.
Thanks. So I misspoke earlier when I said we'll be getting back to it because I noticed Ms. Eatmay is not on. Let's see. So we've done that. The consent calendar. Does anybody want to pull anything off the consent calendar? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Gardner.
Motion by Gardner. Do I have a second?
Second, Wilson.
Great. I have a motion by Gardner, second by Wilson. Let's go around. Andrew, how do you vote?
Aye.
Anita.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Bird.
Yes.
Barr.
Aye.
Dick. That's okay. We don't hear from Dick. Franco. Franco, we can't hear you if you're there. Oh, Dave?
Aye.
I'm Chair Lanza, and I vote aye as well. So, Prabhu, item 2, investments, over to you.
All right, thank you, Drew. Good morning, trustees. We have about 25 minutes, I guess, before time certain. We'll try to accomplish as much as we can. We will be discussing first quarter, calendar quarter performance and fourth quarter of last year for private markets. But before we get to that, as I always do, I do have some preliminary performance numbers from Makita. And as always, you know, with the preface that these are unaudited numbers and these are estimates. So fiscal year to date, the pension system is down 1.39%. Healthcare is down 5.75%. So again, these are unaudited estimates. The market is, of course, as you all know, confronting a host of issues. We seem to have had a temporary reprieve now in the last week or so. But staff has been internally discussing several options. And at some point in the next few days, I will reach out to Trustee Menon, our IC chair, to talk about this further and if need be, hold a special IC meeting. With that, unless there are any questions for me, I will turn this over to Casey Boyer from Newburgh to talk about item 2B.
Great, thank you. Happy to be here with you all to discuss 2021 and how the year turned out for the program. Let me just take a second to share my screen. Okay, can everyone see? I think so.
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Okay, let me do full screen. Great. So I thought I would take just a couple minutes up front to go through kind of some higher level market items that obviously will affect private markets. I'm sure top of mind for everyone is public markets and how that has fared through 2022, not the best, and kind of how that relates to our portfolio. So I thought I would just take a couple minutes there at the outset. The high level performance for Q4 was very good. The portfolio increased in value. There were some distributions that came through from realizations within the portfolio. So overall, very good performance. But we are, starting the sixth month of 2022, and things have changed since the year end. So essentially, just kind of high level, the private markets always do tend to lag public markets, and we are kind of seeing that trend continue despite public markets being down. So we're kind of yet to see that headwind in the valuations within private markets. We do expect that to roll through. I would expect kind of by year end that we should see some of that. So it will make the exit environment for private markets a little bit more challenging, and we'll kind of see how that plays out. So far, we haven't seen that change, but I'm guessing if we kind of stay where we are, that will flow through. The good news and kind of the flip side on that is that there were a lot of really great exits and realizations last year in 2021. So we did kind of see that elevated exit environment. And also on the flip side, when there are kind of the lower valuations, that is a good scenario for new deal flow and new investments to be made within our private markets portfolio. Your portfolio is still actively investing, so that is a good source of deal flow. And that comes from a number of different aspects that can be related to the public markets. If there are large corporates within the public world, private markets can definitely take advantage of corporate carve-outs as the corporations are kind of focused on other things and they would like to divest some assets. And obviously there's the ability to take publics private. So that universe, when markets come down, is much bigger for the private markets to take advantage of. So I think just in general, the focus of the private markets currently when we are making investments is very much to focus on profitability of companies. Over the last few years, a lot of the focus, people have paid a lot for growth, but that is changing. There's much more focus and importance on the profitability of a company. Happy to answer any questions kind of on those comments as we go, but just flipping to the presentation and how the portfolio did in Q4, you'll see here on the screen the net return, so the net multiple and net IRR for the program continues to perform well. It was a 1.9 times net multiple at the end of Q4 and a 37.3% net IRR for the Neuberger specific returns. When you compare that to the prior quarter, Q3, the net multiple was 1.8 times, so a nice uptick in Q4. Another item that you'll see that has changed over the last few quarters is we are starting to make more distributions. So you'll see more realizations within your underlying portfolio. In Q3, the distribution number was 21.7. You'll see here in Q4, it is 34.2. So there were approximately 13 million of distributions over the quarter. Post Q4, we've made an additional 10 million of distributions to the plan. So very good developments on that side. I'll flip to the next page, which the next few pages are where we benchmark the underlying investments within the portfolio, the fund investments specifically. You'll see page 3 is related to the legacy investments within your portfolio. As we continue to turn, you'll see that on page 4 as well. We are looking at the gross IRR and MOIC of each investment and then quartiling it against the peer benchmark to show where that investment sits compared to peers. Since last quarter, we actually did add an element to this presentation to help you identify changes within these quartiles. And you'll see on these pages, green arrows showing that this quartile has gone up since the last quarter. And then obviously, if it went down also, you'll see that. So hopefully that can kind of help you from quarter to quarter see how things are trending. The next couple pages show the Neuberger underlying portfolio and how that is benchmarking. One thing I would say is you'll see more movement in terms of arrows up and down within the more recent vintage years as those portfolios are still really developing and changing as time goes. So these vintage years in 2018, 19, 20, 21 that are still very recent, you'll continue to see changes. But overall, good underlying performance. Page 8, you'll see an exposure analysis, which shows not only the commitments that we've made to date, but also what has been invested. So what has been called and actually put into investments. You'll see that by Neuberger, and then you'll also see your combined portfolio with Neuberger and Legacy overall. We have this by investment type, so primaries, co-investments, and secondaries, as well as geography, and also vintage year, which was added last quarter to see the consistency and of your investing by year and making sure that there's exposure throughout vintage years. Turning to page 9 is a performance analysis. The top, you'll see the gross performance laid out by investment type. You can see here some highlights, which is the co-investments at 2.35 times have been a great attribute to your performance to date. Primaries and secondaries also doing very well. Primaries do take more time to develop as they are deploying capital over 2, 3, 4 years. So, you know, and we're also continuing to make new investments and new commitments to primary funds. So that's still developing, but a very positive momentum from the co-investments to date. And then the bottom portion of the page highlights the Neuberger program and how that is performing. As I mentioned earlier, great net performance, both in terms of IRR and TVPI, and happy to report that that is putting the program in the first quartile for a 2017 vintage fund.
Woohoo!
Yes, agree. Thank you. So, and let me go back one page just to give a little bit of background here. I would say, so this program has had a 5-year commitment period. And typically what we found are peers that we're benchmarking against have a little bit of a shorter investment period. There's nothing kind of different or bad about that other than to say it's very positive that we're still benchmarking in the first quartile, given we're still actively making investments that, you know, come in at 1 times. So just wanted to point that out also kind of in the benchmarking scenario. And then I won't spend any time on these next couple pages, really just a schedule of investments for all programs, both the Legacy and Neuberger, and you can kind of see where each investment is performing, both primaries, co-investments, and secondaries. So I will pause now and happy to take any questions you all might have.
Great. I don't think we have to go around, Robin. Floor's open, trustees. Any questions for Casey?
Hi, Casey. This is Howard. Thank you for the presentation. Is there a way for the future to have, you had mentioned comparisons to the prior quarter. Is there a way to have some sort of quick, short snapshot of the prior quarter compared to the current quarter that's in the deck?
Yeah, sure. Just on kind of a total basis.
Yeah, because oftentimes I have to have both documents open to see what changed from the last quarter.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Floor, we're not going to take a vote on this. Floor's still open. Any other questions for Casey? Thanks, Casey. I don't see Laura on board. Is somebody else from Akita here? Oh, Laura is here. I'm sorry, yeah. Laura, I didn't see you. Hey, Laura, hello. How long do you think this will take?
I am going to do my very best to make it very concise. And you know, of course, if there are questions that run over, we can come back to it. But I'll do my best. That's our fault,
Laura.
And if it's all right with you, I can just roll through the 3 presentations. But feel free to jump in with any questions.
Go ahead, Laura. I may interrupt you when I see that our time certain thing is forming up. Just, Laura.
All right, so let me share my screen here. Jared is out today, so I'm going to run my own slides. Hopefully you can see that.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, great. So in terms of overall returns, this is the Makita Private Markets Report, which includes the legacy private equity. We also report on the Neuberger Berman Fund of 1, and then the other asset classes within private markets, which are private debt, real estate, real assets, and venture capital. Venture capital is too new of a program to have a meaningful IRR, but if you take a look on the far right of this slide, I think this is maybe the only private markets report at least that I recall, where all of your IRRs for your programs are higher than the public market equivalents. So definitely, good reason, I think, and good proof of your efforts in private markets. If you look on the far right with the IRRs for your program versus the public market equivalents. Taking a look at, starting with the private debt program, you can see one new commitment to Arbor Lane, 21 million. Your internal investment team has been busy, and Makita collaborating with them on new investments, as you'll see throughout this report this quarter. If you take a look at the private debt program, you can see that some of the newer investments towards the bottom, starting around 2017, have started to compensate for those more weak returns on a pure relative basis at the beginning of the program back in 2010. So if you look towards the bottom of the slide, very, very strong returns relative to the peer IRRs for these more recent private debt investments. Two new commitments in the real assets program, Tembo Capital 3 and Mountain Capital 3. And you can see especially Kimmeridge Energy 5, a 2019 commitment with an IRR of 47.8, really strong returns, starting to reflect the recent energy prices. On real estate, you have one new investment recently in HIG Realty 4. And you can see a long history of real estate investing, also with quite strong returns for some of the more recent vintages. The venture capital program is quite new, but there was one new investment in Next Play 3 for $10 million this quarter, or this fourth quarter. And then you can see the non-meaningful yet performance. There's a bunch of slides towards the back here on the market environment, which you're welcome to peruse, and I'm happy to answer any questions on. But in the interest of time, I'll wrap up this private markets update and move on to public if you're ready.
Yeah, good. Trustees, jump in anytime, interrupt Laura if you have any questions. Keep going, Laura.
Okay, great. So for the overall retirement plan, in terms of the economic and market update, the one thing I'll highlight, I think this page 5 sort of says it all. You can see in 2021, all of the bars on the right side of this line, meaning positive performance for the most part, with only a few asset classes negative. And then if you look at 2022 through April, Bloomberg Commodity Index was the only positive major asset class for the first quarter, with a return of 31%. So it was a tough quarter for those who didn't have any exposure to commodities or energy, but luckily you did. In terms of the overall fund, the total market value fell from 5 billion to 4.8 billion, given recent market returns. The current allocations were quite close to policy. In terms of overall returns, you see here, as of the end of March, there was still a fiscal year-to-date return that was positive of 2.5%. The quarter was down negative 2.6. One thing I'd like to point out here is how strong the recent returns have been relative to the investable benchmark portfolio, which really reflects some of the things that you can invest in, mainly alternative assets within hedge funds and within private markets that have really been protective recently of the portfolio. And you also see quite strong pure relative returns with the quarter, the fiscal year to date, and the 1 year all in the top third of the peer group, and 3 years not far behind. In terms of overall asset class returns, you see a mixed performance relative to the benchmarks, but for the most part, your managers protected value in areas like US equity. You can see the private markets, super strong returns here, positive for the quarter, with that being a lag number, 17% for the fiscal year to date, whereas the ACWI plus 100 basis points was actually negative, and a 1 year return of 31%. If you take out the Russell 3000, where you hold some assets for future commitments, you see a fiscal year to date return for private markets of 21%. In terms of fixed income, emerging market debt was a bright spot. You have a manager there, Wellington Iguazu, that is a long short structure. Really, really strong within the emerging market debt universe, where most of our clients who invest in EMD are not thrilled with recent returns. And then you see the low beta portfolio really protecting value and diversifying quite a bit relative to traditional equities and bonds. So the relative value portfolio market neutral strategies up 10% for the quarter and 12.4% for the fiscal year to date, really doing what they're designed to do and protecting value. If we take a look at risk-adjusted returns for the 1, 3, and 5 year periods here, You can see Sharpe ratios, which are that third box in the top third of the peer group. So you've had, for the 1 year period, standard deviation right on the peer group and a stronger than peer group return. For the 3 year period, you have a standard deviation below that of the peer group, again, with a stronger return than the peer group. So a great 20th percentile Sharpe ratio. And then for 5 years, strong numbers as well on that front. And then we have the peer relative comparisons here as well, showing the high recent ranks in the peer group and asset allocation comparisons. So I'm happy to take any questions on the pension before we move on to healthcare.
Hey, hang on 1 second, Laura. Ms. May I see you're online? Can we run a little over? We're almost done with this section. Is that okay with you?
Yes, I'm fine. My conflict was earlier, so I'm good.
Well, good. Thanks, Ms. May. Go ahead and wrap it up, Laura. We'll get back to you, Ms. May, in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay,
Good,
great.
Laura. Jump in, trustees, if you have any questions.
So on the healthcare trust, as you know, you have a relatively similar strategic asset allocation and underlying liquid managers. So the total assets as of the end of March for the healthcare trust were 273 million, with current allocations quite close to policy here. And you see that 5% is in commodities, which was a good amount of protection, given that you can't have the private markets and illiquid assets here to protect you on the healthcare trust. So in terms of the total performance, the quarter was down 3.1%, ranking quite highly in the peer group. The fiscal year to date as of March 31 was slightly negative. And you can see here peer group returns, all year return ranking in the top third for all trailing time periods. You know, this is a more equity heavy portfolio than a lot of the peers. And as you know, that often is not a good thing in a down market environment, but given the commodities exposure and some other attributes of this plan, you can see that the peer relative returns are still quite strong. So commodities here up 25% for the fiscal year period. Core real estate was also a really bright spot, up 19.2% for the fiscal year and 9% for the quarter. You know, the way that you are structured by having some diversification outside of just public equities and bonds has been great on both the pension and the healthcare recently. I know that was relatively quick. I'm happy to take any questions.
You weren't even talking fast, but you got through fast, Laura. Hey, floor is open. Any questions for Laura? The usual excellent job, Laura. I think the fact there's no questions is just a reflection of what a great job you do all the time.
Well, excellent job to the board and the internal investment team as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, these numbers are a team effort. These are spectacular numbers. So go team. We are now at 10:29. So without further ado, let's go to item 3A. I'll turn over to Maytack in a minute.
Yes. So we have a court reporter present. I just wanted to make sure that the court reporter, Miss Ashley Lolo Nis is present.
Do you see Tack?
Yes, yes, hi.
Oh, there she is.
My name is Lori Anastasia.
Oh, okay. So Madam Court Reporter, we are going to begin our portion for transcription, item 3A, as shown on the screen.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Thank
I
you.
will make just a brief prefatory remarks and then I'll turn to Maytack. So first of all, Maytack and Ms. May, thanks so much. I understand you've been back in the kitchen making sausage for the last couple of weeks, and the board in its closed session 8:30 had a chance to hear about your sausage making efforts. And on behalf of the board, I want to thank both of you for rolling up your sleeves and making that sausage. I think it's fair to say in the closed session, Ms. May, we mostly just heard the proposal and asked some questions. I actually don't know how my fellow trustees feel about the proposal. We thought Maytack felt strong enough that she and Harvey recommended, let's not deliberate it here in closed session. We'll do it all in open session. So over to you, Maytack.
Sure. So Thank you. And so just further reminding or a reminder to the trustees and the members of the public, we do have a court reporter present who's transcribing everything. So it's important not to speak over one another. To the extent you have comments, please utilize the hand raising option so that we have some order in turn for the court reporter's benefit here. And so as Chair Lanza has mentioned, the council to the parties have reached a proposed settlement deal that we would like to propose to the board. But before we do that, we do have a current pending motion that was held over from the previous board meeting in May, which was moved by Lanza and seconded by Trustee Santos, which we tabled on the vote and discussion. But but on the understanding that we have a deal, I would turn it back to the chair to figure out what he would like to do with this motion.
Oh, thanks so much, Maytak. So depending on what Dick the second does, I feel like the negotiations you had were absolutely in the spirit of the motion. So I'm happy to withdraw the motion in favor of one that deals with the specifics of what you've negotiated. Dick, are you comfortable as the second withdrawing your second to that motion? Dick, we can't hear you. Are you comfortable withdrawing your second to that motion from last month? Linda, are there instructions for Dick to go off mute?
Chair Lanza, Mr. Santos is not on mute as far as Zoom is concerned. He may be on mute on his phone, but he has access to the mic according to Zoom.
Yeah, I see. Maytak, how do we proceed if the seconder is not, if we can't hear from him?
We could proceed with the substitute motion.
Okay, great. So let's go ahead then back to you, Maytak.
So currently, as I mentioned, Missy, May, Harvey, and I.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Trustee
Yes, I am so sorry. They're having technical problems. Hear me out, please. I second chair's withdrawal of that motion.
Great. Thanks, Dick. We're all set. Back to you, Maytak.
Okay. With the prior motion from the May meeting withdrawn, I'm here to present the proposed deal that Missy and May and Harvey and I have discussed for presentation to the board, if that's okay with you, Missy and May.
Yes, I just like to know for the record that I believe Mr. Gallagher is present as well.
Thank you. And so for the board and the public, the deal terms that we propose and recommend to this board for settlement of this matter contain 6 terms. The first term being a 10% reduction of Mr. Gallagher's current monthly allowance in the amount of $640.37 per month, commencing on October of this year. Term 2 would be no clawback or repayment of any past year's allowances. Term 3 would be that all future COLA, C-O-L-A, remain intact for the rest of his life. Term 4 is a full and mutual release of claims and a covenant not to sue. Term 5 would be no impact on any survivor or death benefits. Term 6 would be a written settlement agreement consistent with these terms by no later than July 1st. So those are the terms that the parties have come to as a proposal to this board for this matter. Back to you, Chair Lanza.
All right. Any comments, Ms. Eaton May?
No, I believe that is the agreement. We went back and forth a little while, and Mr. Gallagher accepted these terms of the 10% reduction to commence hopefully in October of 2022. And again, keeping his future COLAs intact. and releasing all claims that he may have, as well as no impact on his survivor or death benefits.
Great. So Maytech, I'm guessing I should make a motion that that the board accept this. And then we go around to discuss and then we go around to vote. That sound right, Maytech?
If you seek to adopt this, yes.
Great.
If I
So
may,
I
Mr.
will,
Chair, if I may just add
Sure.
to that, Mr. Chairman, that the motion appropriately would include direction and authorization to the CEO to execute the settlement agreement consistent with these terms on behalf of the board.
great. And then the third thing there, Maytech, too, is I remember you said earlier that you had more work to do with Ms. Eaton May to lock this down. Is that right?
Just in terms of preparing the written settlement agreement.
Okay. So I move that we authorize Maytag and Harvey to finalize this agreement per the 6 points that she highlighted, and that we further authorize, once that's done, Roberto to implement this. Does that sound good, Harvey?
The authorization of the CEO would be to execute it on behalf of the board.
Great. As amended per Harvey, that's the motion. Do I have a second?
Second by Santos.
Great. The motion by Lance, second by Santos. In the closed session, we went around the table in alphabetical order. So let's go ahead and do it in reverse alphabetical order. So this first round, let's trustees' comments or questions, maybe because we have Ms. Eaton May, and questions for her if you want to. Then after that, we'll ask staff, council to jump in, then we'll do the public, and then we'll come back and do that same order and take a vote. So let's see, reverse order. Dave, any comments or questions?
No comments, no questions. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Dave. Franco, any comments or questions?
Nope.
Thanks. Dick, any comments or questions?
Well, the comment is that we have digested a lot of information. We take this very, very seriously. It's the best recommendation based on our legal advice to protect the plan and the members, and I support it.
That's great. Eshfar, any comments or questions?
No comments and questions. Thank you, Drew.
Any comments or questions?
No comments or questions, Drew.
I am next in the alphabetical line. I'll make two quick comments. For members of the union and so on, for the record, if you're just tuning in now, we tried very, very hard. I know Ms. Eaton May and Maytech worked on this, to not touch the pension payments, but to reach a side agreement with Mr. Gallagher where we had some penalty imposed on him, but it would be after he received his whole pension check. That didn't work out, and we thank you, Mr. Gallagher, Ms. Eaton May, and Maytech for trying. So I want the pensioners to know that this board took very seriously, that we're going to touch a pension payment. And the second comment I make is, how do we, I sort of proposed 10%, how do we settle on it? Let me first issue an apology to you, Mr. Gallagher. I used the word tithe, and I realize now that that has certain religious implications, and you're correct that it does. So let's use a different word. I told last month that I picked 10% because it shows up in ancient history. Let's use the ancient Assyrian word for it. It's called an Ezretu. And that word is 5,000 years old and predates the Israelites' writing of the Old Testament. And so there's this historic notion going back, it actually shows up in some of the Mesoamerican cultures, of a tax, a tithe that becomes in the Bible, an Ezretu in the ancient Assyrian Empire. 10% shows up in the earliest history of man as kind of a reasonable tax or relationship between government and the individual. And that's how I kind of came up with 10%. It is to some extent an arbitrary number. I wish I could tell you we had some complicated formula or lengthy deliberations on that amount, but we didn't. So that's it for me. David,
Drew, can I,
Drew? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, can I say something? This is Howard. We did go through a very lengthy process, and my only comment at this point is I would hope that there would be a reporting mechanism going forward, so that way we can avoid all the type of situation we've had so far. Thank you.
Good point. We're not used to doing this, and we're learning as we go. I think it's something we learned. David, any questions or comments?
No questions, no comments.
Sunita, any questions or comments?
Just one quick comment. I guess I would say that it's been a great learning process to understand the authority delegated to us by the city. And we're very grateful to have terrific attorneys to help us guide the various considerations, which were quite significant in coming up with this proposal. Thank you.
Yeah, I would Sunita's comments. Thank you, Harvey and Maytack, and especially you, Ms. May, for walking us through this minefield with our legs intact. Andrew, any questions or comments?
No question or comments. Thank you.
Staff, Roberto, Harvey, Ms. May, any comments from any of you about anything we just said?
No, from me, Mr. Chair.
Thanks. Maytack, Harvey, Ms. May, we're good?
Yes.
Great.
We're good.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Any comments from the public at this time?
Yeah,
Ray
Ray.
Storms has his hand raised.
You
Drew?
can go.
Okay, I just had a question. She came across 5 points. I missed point number 2.
Sure. So Mr. Storms, point number 2 would be no clawback or repayment of any past year's allowances previously paid.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Thanks, Ray. I guess we're ready to vote, right, Maytack? Anything else we need to do for record keeping or bookkeeping?
Ms. May, you have no further comments, is that correct?
No further comments at this time.
Thanks.
And I see no other hands up with the public for public comment, so yes.
Again, on behalf of the board, Maytack and Ms. May, thank you so much. I know how hard you worked on this, and what was a kind of a frightening process for this board has been made very palatable by both of you, and really sincerest thanks from the board for this. And you too, Mr. Gallagher. I know this is painful for you, but thank you for making this easier than it might have otherwise been. So I guess we're ready to take a vote. So let's go in reverse alpha order. Dave, how do you vote?
Aye.
Franco, how do you vote?
Aye.
Dick, how do you vote?
Yes.
Eshvar, how do you vote?
Aye.
Robert, how do you vote?
Yes.
I'm Lanza, I vote aye. David, how do you vote?
Aye.
Nita, how do you vote?
Aye.
Andrew, how do you vote?
Aye.
Well, Ms. and Maytack, that's as good a testament to your capabilities as you'll ever get. If you'd asked me a month ago to vote, to go to Vegas and bet, I wouldn't have bet this would have been unanimous. So the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and it tasted very delicious. I dare now mix pudding and sausage as the metaphors for the day. Thank you to all the board members. I can tell you, Ms. May, that in closed session, the questions and comments were very, very thoughtful. Maytack, any final comments from you?
No comments, thank you.
Really, what Maytack superbly done. You too, Harvey. Thank you as always for making our jobs fun and interesting. Over to you, Roberto. Oral update.
Chair, if I may,
Yeah.
Madam Court Reporter, you're released for the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Did you need this transcript? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks. Nice meeting you, Miss
Okay.
on the side.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye
Thank you.
now.
Bye.
Over to you, Roberto.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'll be quick. On my comments, the remaining Medicare Part B reimbursements for 2021 were processed in May with the May payroll, so they should have been received by now. And staying with Medicare, I wanted to announce that we will be offering quarterly Medicare education seminars in partnership with Kaiser starting in August. We are currently finalizing the dates and we will make them available August, October, and January. All our members, regardless of whether they're Kaiser or Anthem or somebody else, they're welcome to attend. This is just strictly educational. It is challenging to learn the Medicare process and signing. So Medicare is very confusing. And so we are really excited about offering this opportunity for education in the enrollment process for our retirees. We will start with those members that are close to 65. But as we move forward with this process, we'll be reaching out to our social media to other members that are not close to 65, but still feel they could benefit from such education. So kudos to the staff for working this out. Thank you. I also wanted to share that the city, you probably all know, has seen an increase in positive COVID-19 cases in the workforce and in the community. And so they revised the masking policy and now they have instituted the mandatory masking for employees and guests at the city. You also know by now that our office continue working a hybrid schedule, about a couple of days at the office by staff. The office, it is open between 9 and 3 or 4 o'clock. But we do encourage members to, although they are welcome to stop by the office, we do encourage them to make appointments to visit our offices. And again, just a reminder that masks are required. The office is also, we're planning on having an actual, for the first time in over 2 years, a summer picnic in the outside at a park in Willow Glen. Is currently scheduled for not tomorrow, but next Friday, the 10th. In addition, wanted to let you know that the office will be closed on Monday, June 20th, in observance of the June 19th newly instituted holiday by the city of San Jose, and also on the July 4th in observance of Independence Day. And I also wanted to let you know we are going to be conducting interviews for the accounting clerk position later this month. And lastly, since we have staff and trustees that have picking up some traveling lately after COVID, we wanted to remind everyone that to please reach out to the administrative staff whenever you plan on traveling on behalf of the plan, so the staff can make all arrangements for your travel, including if you're attending a conference, the registration, hotel accommodation, plane tickets, and everything else. So with that, Mr. Chair, that concludes my comments. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Roberto. Any questions for Roberto? If not, Pam, it's good we missed you last month. Good to see you take over, Pam.
I'm here too, but only partly. I've got been hit with that cold that's going around that's really affecting everybody almost as badly as COVID is affecting people. So I just have a couple things. We are in the middle of budget session. We were required to submit our budget documents last Friday to the city or to the mayor. And those budget documents are actually related to the essential services money that is allocated for council offices, but the mayor, we have to make an argument to the mayor as to what we'd like funded. And we've done that. Now we're just waiting to hear back from the mayor as to whether he's going to support the things that we've requested of him or not. And that's a collective we, but of course, District 9, my district, we have our own special asks. One of the things I did put in for, which was actually rejected, I submitted it late, but it affects the retirement board, and that was the Retirement Firefighters and Police Officers Retirement Association came to us regarding mental health and extending mental health to retirees. We submitted a budget document on Friday requesting funding for that. but it was rejected based on a couple of things. One, we were late in our submission. That's on us. We tried to get it in anyway and say, oops, sorry, we meant to send this earlier and forgot to send it, but they didn't accept that as an argument with us. But we are looking to bid our mental health program already, and we're in an RFP with looking for a provider at the city level and hoping to take a look at including the retirees too. Currently, retirees do benefit from Kaiser program. There are accessibility to mental health programs there, although it is a limited experience and opportunity through Kaiser. So I wanted you to know that that was still something that is a priority. It is expensive because we have to cover all employees and all retirees too. And that's even though many will not utilize it or benefit from it, we have to, or take advantage of it, I should say, we have to pay for everyone. So that's a huge budget ask. And I'll give you more information as we get the responses back to bidding out the new process. Aside from that, we are facing a surplus this year and projected surplus in our budget for the next 5 years. I am cautiously optimistic, as I just heard a economic update just a little while ago with Chris Thornburg, who's concerned about recession and other things, and particularly housing and the market and employment. So we have to watch recession and inflation. And of course, I know you're watching that very closely as well. The emphasis at the budget, mayor's budget, is affordable housing, homelessness, blight, and of course, public safety. Public safety always rises to the top. And it has in my 3 years on council. I'm in my 4th year now. And every year that is a critical concern to our residents and to me as well. So we're making sure that I've always voted to fully fund the police department and fire. And we're looking at ways to fund both fully so that we have our fire department, especially our new fire stations that are being opened, fully funded, along with increased foot patrol. So I think I'll leave it at that, because we really are in budget session and that's the #1 priority. And if anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to respond.
Great. Floor is open. Anybody have any questions for Pam?
Mr. Chair, this is your opinion. I don't have any questions. Pam, good to see you. But thank you for providing some background on the budget process by the city, which reminded me I failed to update the board on the budget. And I wanted to let the board know that we actually, as appointees to the city, actually met with the council on May 13. They had some very straightforward questions, but in general, they didn't have any concerns with the budget as was approved by your boards and put forward to the city council. In fact, the manager's budget addendum for the Office of Retirement Services was actually issued last May 18th. And I think, as Councilmember Foley indicated, the city is still going through the process, but I believe, Councilmember, if I'm mistaken, please correct me, the city is looking to approve the budget at the June 14th meeting. Is that right? Yes.
I believe that's correct. Yes.
So,
we'll have our first reading. Yeah, we'll have our first reading on this Tuesday and then adopt the budget the following week.
Correct. So my point being that at this point, I will foresee the city approving their budget, which includes our request that was brought forward to both boards straightforward last March. So with that, that concludes my comments, Mr. Chair. And again, thank you, Councilmember, for reminding me to speak to the board about the budget.
Yeah, happy to be here. And
Right.
Thank you for reminding Roberto, everybody, about the masks. It is, everyone seems to be getting either infected with COVID or cold. And so the masks prevent cold from being transmitted too. And I'll tell you, if you don't have the cold or you haven't been around anyone with the cold, it really is, it really knocks you off. And 5 days and counting for cold is a long time for me. So
yeah, I got it 3 weeks ago, I can second that idea, Pam. It knocked me for a loop for 2 or 3 days. Floor is open. Any questions for Pam? If not, Roberta, go ahead and take us through this trio of disability stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, I'm happy to defer to our Deputy Director, Barbara Heyman, who will be leading us on those 3 items. Barbara?
Hi, good morning. Barbara Heyman, Deputy Director for Office of Retirement Services. Yes, this memo is seeking approval for the CEO to negotiate and execute a 3rd amendment to the agreement with Medlink. And they're an independent medical examiner for the disability applications, to amend the rate schedule to amend the rates from 500 per hour to a maximum of 850 per hour. Medlink is one of the 2 vendors used to perform those independent medical examinations for the police and fire disability retirement applicants. There's actually another item 4D on today's agenda, and that's also seeking a similar action for the other IME vendor, which is ExamWorks. So Medlink rates, they have not increased since the onset of the contract that was negotiated in March 2016. The current Medlink contract authorizes IMA rates of 500 per hour for files over 2 inches of records, which is the typical billing rate used for our files. But recently, Medlink revised their rate schedule. The rates are now based on rate sheets for individual doctors, as opposed to the size of the file. And the rates range now from 650 per hour to 850 per hour. And so we are asking for approval to negotiate that maximum rate up to 850 to ensure we have a good network of IMEs to provide available services.
And we, Barbara, I sit on the disability committee. We've been happy with both IMEs, right?
Yes, we absolutely have, yes.
Okay. Floor is open. Any questions for Barbara on this? If not,
I have a question, Mr. Chair. I have a question.
Go ahead, Harvey, jump in.
Thanks. Barbara, these are rather significant increases. Do we know whether these are the actual rates that they are receiving from comparable clients? Not that these may be their retail rates, but do we have an MFN provision or something that would treat us as favorably as their most favorable other clients?
I would need to read through the contract. I'm not sure if that clause is within it.
But did that come up in discussion with them, or are we just accepting what they're telling us is their rack rate?
No, I believe we did have that discussion with them. And Sandra or Stacy could correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that was discussed.
Now, as I know, and if I misspeak here, please correct me, Barbara or Sandra, it's a range up to a 50. Not all the doctors charge a 50. Doesn't this also allow us to provide some, I don't know if it's psych reviews, everything else that we didn't have? I'm not sure if I'm explaining that correctly, but is that how it works? It's not that all of them cost a 50. This will allow us also access to other doctors that we didn't have access before. Is that correct?
Yes, that's exactly correct.
It appears that the orthopedics, for example, are at the top at 850, others are at 750 or something like that. I'm just wondering whether we've assured ourselves that we're getting the best pricing available.
So I believe Reese Smith, Mr. Lideman, counsel actually worked on the original agreement, and I don't recall, I will have to read the agreement, if we have that stipulation. We certainly can go back and ask them. What I would like to propose, if the board is amenable to it, is to approve the request in concept with understanding that we will, if it's not in the agreement, we will go back and raise that issue with them. But again, they had not raised the rates in about 6 years, and they do a lot of work for us, just like Sam works in the next agenda item, and we would like to continue doing business with them. So to the extent possible, we will strongly recommend conceptually approval of this request with understanding of obviously your comments, Council, and we certainly can ask that.
All right, jump in, Sandra. I see you want to say something.
Oh, yeah, I just would like to add, we've had multiple conversations with both MedLink and ExamWorks about the rates. I'm not exactly sure how the rates work between MedLink and the doctors, but what we were told is that the doctors were not willing to work for the rates that we had currently approved. So it seemed to be driven by the doctors, and multiple conversations to try and negotiate lower rates with the doctors were not successful. So we did attempt to reduce those rates, but we just could not.
Any questions for anybody? Harvey, does that satisfy you?
No. Ha! I understand. No, but it does help that Sandra's explaining that there was some conversation about that. It looks like they're, you know, they have the upper hand in terms of bargaining, and they've fractionalized it by making us having to negotiate individual by individual doctor as opposed to negotiating with them. And they work it out with their doctors. So that puts us at a considerable disadvantage. I just wanted on behalf of the board to make sure that we explored the best pricing before simply accepting what they consider to be their rack rates.
Well, I assume we kind of get stuck with rack rates because these guys were ever only supposed to be a stopgap measure, and they've been in place and doing good work for many years more than was originally intended. I will go ahead and move that we approve this. Is there a second?
Second by Santos.
Great. Let's go around. Andrew.
Aye.
Sunita.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Howard.
Yes.
Ishvar.
Aye.
Dick.
Yes.
Franco.
Aye.
Dave, are you out there?
Aye. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Great. I'm Chair Lanza. I vote aye as well. Keep going. There's 3 of these right in a row.
Okay, so now this memo for D is for ExamWorks. So similar to the prior item, this memo is seeking approval for the CEO to negotiate and execute an amendment to the agreement with ExamWorks, who provide independent medical examinations for disability retirement applications, to amend the rates from 700 per hour to a maximum of 850 per hour.
The floor is open. Any questions or comments on this one? I assume your comment sticks with this one too, Harvey, or question.
Sure. I assume the answer is the same.
Yeah.
I just want to jump in for a second here. I think council is absolutely right, but I do want to, I think, more for public comments to make sure that it's not as if staff will just take a recommendation or request by a vendor. We will push back and ask questions. And when we come before you, we feel pretty comfortable that we've done the necessary due diligence. But that said, I think the statement about the agreement and whether we have that particular requirement so that we are given the same rates or the best rates as again our peers across the state. Certainly we will look into that, because obviously if we could get away with paying less, we would certainly do that. But I just wanted to make that side point, right? Because I don't want the public to believe that vendors will dictate how much we pay, and that's exactly what we do. That's not how it works. Thank you.
Was that you, Howard? Somebody else I saw sort of jump in?
Yeah, it was, but I have a question. It was for the next one, not this one. Thanks.
Okay, that's great. Any more questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
Second by Santos.
Okay, I guess I made the motion. Motion by Lanza, second by Santos. Andrew.
Aye.
Anita.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Howard.
Yes.
Ishvar.
Aye.
Dick.
Yes.
Pinko.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
I'm Chair Lanza. I vote aye as well. All right, third in a row. Take us home.
Okay, so now this memo is for Work Health Solutions. It's seeking approval to authorize the expenditure of funds for Work Health Solutions after June 30th, 2022. So earlier this year, the board authorized the CEO to negotiate and execute an agreement with Work Health Solutions. They provide board medical services. The agreement was not to exceed 100,000 and to provide disability medical evaluations. The initial term of the agreement was for a period of November 22nd, 2021 through to June 30th, 2022. So Work Health Solutions have commenced reviews of some disability files. They've scheduled a number of IME appointments and they're waiting for the remaining appointments to be made with doctors. And now that we've got an increase in those rates, we may be able to accelerate those appointments. The current term of the contract, as I've said, it does end on June 30th, 2022, at which time Work Health Solutions will have provided only 5 months of disability medical evaluation work, which is short of the 12 months which had been initially intended. So per the terms of the contract, ORS will be able to continue their agreement on a month-to-month basis, and that's accommodated in the current contract. But currently no additional compensation is needed beyond the initial 100,000. And because the agreement is continuing, we're now requesting that to authorize the expenditure of the funds for Work Health Solutions after June 30th, 2022.
This is Dr. Raj Das's company, right, Barbara?
That's correct.
And for those who don't remember, Dr. Das was our guy, gosh, when I joined the board 10, 11 years ago, and then he stopped, and now he's back. Floor's open. Any questions? Howard, you had a question on this one?
Yeah, just one question, Barbara. If it's month to month, is there a longer term plan beyond that?
Yeah, no, we do want to just have a little bit of extra time to assess how they're going to, because we've only seen, just a minimum amount of board medical reports, and in fact they've only just really starting to build their momentum. So we'd say in another 6 months, we'll reassess and decide what our longer term solution is going to be, and if we're going to extend the agreement for another year.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Drew, a question.
Go ahead, jump in.
Yeah, thanks. Barbara, if we can just continue on a month-to-month basis, do we really need to change the contract or create another term date?
No, we don't have to, and probably we won't until possibly we'd need more funds or whatever, and then we could do the amendment as kind of.
So is there really action the board needs to take on this? If the agreement just allows us to continue month to month.
Yes, if I may, the previous motion was limited to the term expiring on June of this year and limited to a certain amount authorized. So if we go month to month, we will have exceeded the amount that was authorized.
I'm sorry, Mitak, I'm a little confused. I think the board approved budget funds every fiscal year. We have budgets approved to be used for these services for the fiscal year coming up. So I feel confident that we have enough funds to spend. The real reason we brought this item forward, Council, was because even though it's part of the agreement that we have the ability to go month to month, we wanted to explain to the board our rationale for using that option because we haven't had enough experience working with them, and we want to make sure that we have enough experience working with them and we're comfortable before we decide whether to come forward to you board with the recommendation to extend the contract. But we wanted to give you board a chance, because if you board came back and told us, no, we don't want to extend this month to month, that's it, then we needed to hear that from your board. The contract is not clear whether that's a call by staff or the board. So that's why this is before you. But in terms of the actual budget, I'm not, I guess I'm.
That's not what my comment was. I understand it's currently within the budget as we budgeted. But as I understood Barbara's comments, our previous motion that we approved had a limited set of funds that set to expire with the term.
But the term is not expiring because we're extending it month to month and we haven't used all the funds. I think that's, I mean, maybe semantics, it may be a legal issue, you may be correct legally, but the way I read it, we haven't used the funds and the term has an, well, it's June 30th, or if we want to extend it month to month. And so since we're extending it and we still have plenty of funds, we didn't think that we needed a new approval of funds, but that's.
Well, that's what we have here within the.
So, yeah. So this is seeking approval to authorize the expenditure of the funds for Work Health Solutions beyond June 30th, 2022.
So under the current agreement, you have that authority already, unless the board today wants to change that authority. If you don't hear from the board that it wants something different, then there's no action the board needs to take. You already have the authority based on the month to month.
Correct. That's the way I'm understanding it. But I mean, I'm open to whatever.
Barbara, could you read back the motion that was approved, the original agreements? Because I think you're right, Mr. Pena, that it may be a matter of semantics, but I do want to make sure that we have a clean record.
No, that's fair.
The board authorized the CEO to negotiate and execute an agreement with Work Health Solutions not to exceed 100,000 to provide disability medical evaluation services. The initial term of the agreement was for the period. Well, that wasn't what they approved. Okay, I need to go back to the original memo to see what the wording was, or maybe it's in my memo.
Well, it doesn't hurt, Harvey, to reaffirm the motion, right?
Right.
So let me think about it. So I move that we reaffirm to continue with them, and if in fact the original motion does not say that, go ahead.
Sorry, I have the original motion here.
Great, excellent, Maytag. What does it say?
So we took discussion and action on staff's recommendation for the approval for the CEO to negotiate and execute an agreement with Work Health Solutions to provide disability medical evaluation services to the board for the amount not to exceed $250 for fiscal year 2021 to 2022, with 2 one-year extension options to extend beyond June 30th, 2022. So the amount approved was limited to the fiscal year of 2021 to 2022. So that's why we're bringing it here today for approval for the board to continue on a month-to-month basis beyond fiscal year 2021 within the approved budget.
So you're saying we should re-up?
Within the approved budget amount, yes.
So I move that we reauthorize this within the existing budget framework. How about that?
There's to be a second by Santos.
All right, good enough for me. Andrew.
Aye.
Sunita.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Howard.
Yes.
Ashvar.
Aye.
Dick.
Yes.
Franco.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
I'm Chair Lanza. I vote aye as well. Anything else, Roberto? If not, I'll go on to 4F, which is mine.
No, I think that's it. I defer to Barbara, but I think that we accomplished what we were looking for. Thank
Are we
you.
good, Barbara?
Yes.
All right, so item 4F. So it's coming up on June. It's time to kick off the performance review process. So let's take a step back and take a look where we are in space and time. So when I joined this board 10 years ago, Roberto and Peru, their predecessors, worked for the city, and we didn't have any say in their compensation. And then Vince and I rolled up our sleeves and working with Roberto and Harvey, we drove Measure G, where we do have a say in their performance reviews and their compensation. But the city, I think, was wise. We went round and round on this when we did Measure G. They put training wheels on so that we propose what we want to see, and then the city says yay or nay. You know, that system actually has worked out very well. Jennifer Shembry, we've known, I met Jennifer first year I was on the board. And Cheryl Parkman, you know, they I think show us a lot of deference and help us get that past city council. So if you'd asked me 3 years ago, I'd have said that about now we would be trying to gain full autonomy. And in fact, this effort to improve our performance review process was aimed at that. But I'm guessing now, and based on conversations I've had with Rue and Roberto, that's probably no longer our goal. Our goal probably now is to continue to have the city review and approve or disapprove of these increases we want, but to add an incentive compensation component, which Peru is now working on with the Joint Personnel Committee, and the city would have approval or disapproval over that. And this is a work in progress, so you should hear about that in a couple of months when the consultants weigh in and the JPC has had a chance to be briefed by Peru and the consultants. So now let's go back down to ground level. So we launched this effort 2 or 3 years ago to really improve our performance review process. And we took best practices from industry. And now this year, we're going to fire it up for the first time. We've been working closely, the Joint Personnel Committee has with Cortex, to do this. Now, I'm not the chair of the Joint Personnel Committee, but Eshvar and I do the performance review of Roberto, and Eshvar drives the performance review of Peru because he chairs the investment committee. So Eshvar and I will be driving this process. So I'm doing this presentation rather than the chair of the Joint Personnel Committee, because we're about now actually the Joint Personnel Committee to tell you what the process is. I'm about to tell you we're going to do the process. So in the next week or two, you're going to receive an email, every trustee, from Walter Viola of Cortex. He's the new Tom Yanucci. And the JPC is working close to Walter. And so we're going to step up our game in the performance review process. And there are essentially 2 elements to that step up. And this is, by the way, industry best practice. When you get to a certain size, it's not just the boss that reviews the employee, the trustees reviewing Roberto. We also look for the peers to review Roberto and staff. And so Barbara, on behalf of the JPC, is driving this 360-degree review process. And because we're gathering a lot more input, as we do in the private sector, we're now going online. So before, you remember, we would meet in the conference room, the city council conference room, and we go to whiteboard and everybody give their input on Roberto and Peru's performance. Now we're going to gather it more formally from all of you. We're going to fill out an online survey, because between 9 of us putting in input and the peer review stuff and lots of other stuff, this is a big process. So we're going to do that this month. Then July, it's going to take Walter like a month to put all this together for both us and Federated. And then the board will have a chance to meet in closed session to review all this in August. So there's no vote here. I just want to warn you to look for an email from Walter Viola. You'll hear me clicking away. I'm sending me an email right now to let them know. Federated kicked this off at their board meeting 2 weeks ago. So it's the first time we're doing the process, maybe a bit clunky, right? Whatever you see you don't like, send an email back to Walter, right? Say that question was ambiguous or this was too ponderous. We've run this before. I think it is a bit too big, but we've talked in the JPC, and I think better start with something a bit big and ponderous and scale it down rather than start by just asking one vague question that's scaled up. Any questions on that from any of the trustees? If not, we are for the Maytac show. AB 361. Over to you, Maytac.
Oh, Drew, I have one question. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, as a newest member of the board, I'd like to, hopefully before the survey comes out, have a chance to meet Roberto and Prabhu, try to get a good understanding of the responsibilities and roles, as well as maybe the staff. Hope I have a chance to do so. So I'll probably reach out to you guys and maybe try to get a meeting established.
You know, I think it's good. I can tell you right up front that Prabhu likes beer and Roberto's a rum guy. Roberto, Prabhu, I'm happy. Maybe all four of us can get together and meet in person.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Set that up, Roberto?
Yes, we certainly can reach out to Trustee Cohen. We're happy to do that. Yes.
And then remember what Harvey said. He and Maytac will also. There's a lot of little arcane details with being on a public board like this, and there's some excellent training they've put together now that you're here, right, Roberto? Hi, right, Harvey?
Yep.
We'll have onboarding training at a later date.
Thank you very much. Great to hear.
Yeah, it'll be fun to meet you in person. I'll look forward to it.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay, Maytac. It's time for the Maytac show.
So on to item 4G. Currently, the governor's proclamation for the state of emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic remains intact, and the city council has just renewed its resolution to recommend social distancing in city facilities. Based on those two factual findings, this board may continue to meet for the next 30 days virtually if it so approves those two factual findings. Now, one comment that I would like to make is that there's a lot of suspicion that the governor will lift his proclamation in the month of July. And so that remains to be seen. I don't know if that's true or not, because I haven't spoken to the governor myself. But currently, even with the uptick, that's the rumors that are going around currently. Back to you, Chair Lanza.
So does that mean business as usual, Maytac?
When you say business as usual, do you mean coming back in person, or what do you mean?
Oh yeah, good point. No, I mean, so when do you think we'll meet in person?
Well, this board doesn't meet in the month of July, and so if they do not either renew their factual findings in the month of July and the proclamation is still intact, or two, that the proclamation is removed before you guys meet to renew these, then it's very likely that we will meet again in person as per usual in August. That's a strong possibility.
Right. Okay, so that makes sense. So we say Maytac is we've done an interim emergency meeting. We can do that again. Hey, Maytac, for the committees, then how many committees do we need to go through AB with?
All of them technically under the law because they are legislative bodies.
Except same. Are there any committees meeting in the next 30 days?
That question I do not have an answer to. That's something the staff may know.
Which committees we need to extend today because we're meeting this month?
There's a couple of challenges, Mr. Chair. I think Prabhu, and I'll defer to Prabhu. He's been thinking about scheduling some sort of a special investment committee meeting. We do have some committee meetings possibly scheduled for the June 16 after the Fed meeting. But the challenge here is twofold. I think as Councilor Chin indicated, we don't know if this is going to be this option is going to be available in the next 60 days. But even if it is, you will then have to, if not through some sort of a committee meeting where you get enough of your board members to have a special meeting, you will have to schedule a meeting of your board no later than July 1st to approve AB 361. And then again, by August 1st, so actually
August
it
2nd.
has to be 30 days, which is before your August 4th meeting. So you will have to have 2 special meetings just so you could have your meeting in August virtually. That's assuming that that's still an option, right? And I don't know the answer to that, but I haven't seen any movement lately. I don't know if you can offer some input on that, Maytag, what you have heard, or Harvey from Sacramento on that.
No, and may I mention that, generally speaking, these factual findings exist, and if the board so elects to choose to elect to use them for the next 30 days, it may do so, but it also may decline to renew their factual findings. And we would just go, get more certainty about the August date.
So I remember you saying before, Maytag, general rule of thumb is if you've got everybody here, do it, AB, right? Do it. And then you figure out in the future whether you actually needed it or not. Is that still kind of the operative principle?
Well, if you make the factual finding elections, it allows you to meet virtually without defaulting to the traditional Brown Act rules.
So
but if you choose not to renew these factual findings, then we revert back to the traditional Brown Act rules.
So it's always to our advantage to do AB 361 because it gives us the option, right?
Right. If you let it lapse, then you have to meet in person to start it up again.
So Maytag, so I'm guessing, so then, sorry, board, this is kind of confusing, but I think about it. So Maytag, we should go ahead and do AB 361 then for the board now, and then at the end of this meeting for all the committees, right?
That's correct.
Right. So go ahead and launch 361 for this board right now.
Well, you have to take a motion. Someone has to motion it to adopt these factual findings.
State the 2 things before I make the motion.
I would do so for the record.
Okay, so based on the information presented by council, provided with our board backup materials, it appears that the following factual findings justify the continuation of virtual meetings under AB 361. The 2 factual findings are the governor's proclamation of state of emergency continues due to the ongoing COVID pandemic, as Maytag said, and as Pam pointed out, San Jose Council's recent resolution continues to impose or recommend measures to promote social distancing in city facilities. Therefore, I will make the motion that we adopt these 2 factual findings for the election to use AB 361's abbreviated teleconferencing procedure for the next 30 days for the board. Do I have a second?
Second by Santos.
A motion by Lanza, second by Santos. Andrew.
Aye.
Anita.
Sorry, aye.
David.
Aye.
Howard.
Yes.
Eshvar.
Aye.
Dick.
Yes.
Enko.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
Chair Lanza, I would aye. So just for the record, so I was confused, and thank you for correcting me, Ruto, on it, and Harvey and Maytag. I forgot that AB 361 lapses at the end of 30 days. So the fact we don't meet in July doesn't mean we get a free pass, right? So at the end of this meeting, Maytag, we will do AB 361 for every committee, as we always have, right?
Correct.
Right.
Mr. Chair.
You know, Maytag, I'm an old man. Leave me alone. Go ahead, Roberto.
No, just so that we're clear and for so that we all are thinking the same way, and for clarification for staff. If this board, if the COVID cases continue to stay the same or continue to increase, and the board is willingness is to continue meeting virtually in August, and it's still an option. I just want to make it clear, and this is also for staff, we're going to have to be reaching out to all of you to schedule special meetings, one in June and one in July, just so that you can approve AB 361, so that you can actually have your August 4th meeting virtually. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. And for staff, if you have any questions, you may want to ask them now, but we're gonna have to keep track of it and make sure that we can schedule such meetings so that August 4th is a possibility, assuming it's still an option.
Right, and we've only done that once before, like in early April or late March, right, Roberto? We did that once
We
before.
did, and so in this case, the challenge is that we're gonna have to do it twice, and we're gonna have to do it for your board and the committees as well. I mean, it'd be quick, and again, it will be led by Council Maytai Chin on the AB 361, but I just want all of you to be aware, we don't have to have a full board, we just have to have a quorum of your board and then a quorum for the committees. Right. Otherwise, any committee that misses one of those special meetings would then have to meet in person before they can continue meeting virtually, if it's still an option towards the second half of the year.
Yeah. So I guess advice is to staff is go ahead and get them on the calendar. We've made the decision. One in 29 days in June, 29 days after that in July. Sound right, Roberto?
That's right. And one thing I want to mention is that, one of the factual findings is contingent on the City of San Jose City Council's renewal of their resolution that recommends social distancing. That resolution remains valid only until June 23rd. And thereafter, we'll have to monitor what the City Council does on that.
Correct, Maytak.
Good about renewing that, right, Maytak and Roberto?
Well, so I mean, that's a fair point by Maytak. Originally, the city was actually sort of moving towards going back in person for the August meetings. I do attend agenda review for the city every Wednesday, so we'll continue doing so and keep the chairs and vice chairs of both boards and staff apprised. Again, originally they were of the mindset that with COVID-19, subsidizing, that they were going to start actual in-person meetings in August. But because of the increase of cases, I'm not aware of what the situation is. So we'll have to monitor that and keep you posted. If they do approve a new one towards the end of June, that would allow us to then have the August meetings also virtually. But then again, Maytak, the city does not meet in July. So even if they do extend it, wouldn't they have to meet, especially sometime in July because of the 30 days?
Well, they can always have their resolution extended, not just by month to month. They can extend their resolution for social distancing recommendation as long as they need to.
Okay, so I will keep everyone apprised and see what the city decides, but I don't know the answer to that yet. So I will have to do that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sure. Any more comments? If not, let's go ahead and move on to section 5. We'll look for a motion and approval momentarily on the retirements of Isidro El Bagon, Jr., Police Sergeant, Police Department, effective July 23, 2022, with 25.29 years service with reciprocity. Jeff Lorimore, Fire Engineer, Fire Department, effective July 9, 2022, with 26.4 years service. Charles E. Mathis, Police Sergeant, Police Department, effective July 23rd, 2022, with 25.3 years service. Man, we got some really long timers here. Stanley C. McFadden, Deputy Chief Police Department, effective May 28, 2022, with 28.8 years service. Wow. And John A. Ureta, Fire Engineer, Fire Department, effective April 29, 2022, with 23.39 years service. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Santos. Do I have a second?
Wilson, second.
I have a motion by Santos, second by Wilson. Let's go around. Andrew.
Aye.
Sunita.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Howard.
Yes.
Eshvar.
Aye.
Dick.
Yes.
Franco.
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
I'm Chair Lenz, I vote aye. Anything you want to say about any of these guys?
Yeah, from Trustee Wilson. I worked with Isidro, Chuck, and Stan throughout almost my entire career. All stand-up guys, and special congratulations to Stan as he is now the new police chief for Stockton PD.
Oh, that's great news. Good for him. Anything from the fireside?
Yeah, Drew, this is Andrew.
Thank you for your service.
There, go to Andrew.
No, I also want to say, yeah, I've worked with both Lowry Moore and Yoretta. I just want to thank you for your service and the time that you put into this community. Enjoy your retirement. Thank you.
Great. Now we'll do the deferred vested. Stephen J. Corbin, police officer, police department, effective June 16, 2022, with a 13.14 years service. Aaron D. Fong, police sergeant, police department, effective July 10, 2022, 25.45 years service with reciprocity. And James H. Top, police captain, wow, police department, effective June 28, 2022, 25.49 years service. Do I hear a motion?
So move, Santos.
We got a motion by Santos. Do I have a second?
Second, Wilson.
Going round the room, Andrew.
Aye.
Anita.
Aye.
David.
Aye.
Howard.
Yes.
Eshvar.
Aye.
Dick.
Yes.
Franco.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
And I am Chair Lanza. I vote aye as well. Let me think about this. Okay. Now we'll read the death notifications. We'll have a moment of silence. Notification of the death of Richard Confer, Sergeant, retired May 2000, died April 18, 2022. No survivorship benefits. Notification of the death of Brian Jost, police lieutenant, retired November 14, 2022, died April 5, 2022. Survivorship benefits to Summer Jost and Jen Jost, spouse and child, respectively. No, this one's a good one. Notification of the death of James A. Leroy, police officer, retired December 3rd, 1986. Good for you, James. Died April, 15, 2022. Survivorship benefits to Carolyn Leroy, spouse. Well, here's the guy that lived, just a brief aside to his survivors. I always look these up. I'm a senior citizen now, guys. I turned 65 last year. This guy joined the police when I was in 3rd grade. Good on you for having a long and hopefully a happy retirement. Notification of the death of Edward Schneikert, fire inspector, retired April 2nd, 1985. Died April 2nd, 2022. Survivorship benefits to Margot Schneikert, spouse. A notification of the death of Kenneth J. Siegel, police officer, retired June 17, 2017. Died May 12, 2022. Survivorship benefits to Janet L. Siegel, spouse. And finally, notification of the death of Richard Uhas, police officer, retired April 15, 2000. Died April 2nd, 2022. Survivorship benefits to Mary Jo Uhas, spouse. We'll now have a moment of silence. Comments from police fireside on these guys?
Yeah, Dick Santos. It's always sad to hear, but you made some good comments, Drew. I want to say for Ed Sniker Jr., there was 3 of them in the fire department, and Ed and I came on together. It's very sad, and thank you very much.
Sure. Anything, Andrew?
Yeah, this is Franco. Just my condolences to the families as usual, and unfortunately, both Brian and Ken. I worked with those guys, and they passed way too young. And then Dick Uhas was a great man. He was actually mine and Dave's backgrounder back in the day. So condolences to their families.
Wow. Any comments, Dave, Andrew?
And just condolences to the family. Thank you.
Great. All right. On to the committees, Eshwar, anything from investment side?
No, nothing new. We have a meeting coming up later this month and maybe a special meeting too, but nothing new.
Great. Let me, for the record, note that we accept the minutes of the special committee meeting on March 30th and the special committee meeting on April 7th. Anything on the audit risk committee, Sunita?
Nothing new to report.
Great. Then let me know we received the minutes of the special audit committee meeting on March 30th, April 7th. Those special committee meetings are the AB 361 meetings. Governance, Franco, anything to report from you?
Nothing to report.
Same acceptance of the March 30th and April 7th special committee meetings. Dick, anything to say about disability?
No, I'm out of position. You handle that one, will you? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So we don't have a meeting coming up in June, and the disability committee, as always, is humming along, ably chaired by Trustee Santos. We accept and filed the minutes from March 3rd and April 7th, again, AB 361. Anything to report on JPC, Andrew?
No, we canceled our last meeting, so we did not meet. There's nothing pending at the moment.
Yeah, and I would say on behalf of JPC, I think Eshwar and I are now in the soup of it, and JPC mostly this summer will just be driving this review process.
Yeah, just one thing. I mean, I guess the one thing that we're just pending our consultants or the survey back for salary ranges for the CEO and CIO. That's what we're waiting for before we have our next meeting.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And then, as I said before, later this year, Prabhu will engage JPC on ideas behind incentive compensation. Any public comments? Is anybody from public have anything they want to say? Any agenda items for our next meeting?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I do want to
Go ahead,
commend
Dick.
you and the board. Yeah, thank you. I want to commend you and the board. I know I'm out of position here right now, but the way we handled that pension process today was very favorable, and I sure appreciate the protection of the plan and the members and how you all chipped in. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I think the credit really goes to Maytak and Harvey, who drove a very thorough and honest process. So that's good. Any other comments? If not, Maytak, this meeting is adjourned. And Maytak, go ahead. Let's run through IAB 361.